Hey, hey, folks. Us here at the SmackDown Podcast have a quick little brief message for anybody that was at this week's taping of Raw and they were chanting, "This is awful," to those women busting their butt in the ring.
Good night and go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
That's right, folks. This is the SmackDown Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Kyle. You can find me on Twitter at TheKyTyShow. I'm going to go ahead and let Rob, I'm going to swing it over to you. Go ahead and put yourself over, Rob.
My name is Rob Rude, and you can find me at TwoWordsCantCMe. Come give me a follow, y'all. I follow back, and I tweet the tweets. Good
Hell
times.
yes. We are also, you can follow our show's page at SmackDown Pod, and then our third member of the show, who's not present currently, is Mr. Benji. You can find him at CalaveraComedy. Thank you guys for joining us. Now, if you're joining us over here on Podbean or Spotify, thank you so much. It is obviously the most optimized way to listen to the podcast. But if we could get a little favor, if you could hop over to our YouTube page just by simply typing in that search bar, Smacked Raw Podcast, 3 words, and giving us a like and subscribe. Help us get to that 100.
Sub.
Help us get to that 100 subscriber mark, you guys, man. We're working hard. We're busting our butt. We're staying up super late on Tuesdays, recording episodes back to back, man. And we love doing it for you guys. We just ask for a click of a button in exchange, man. Thank you so much. But regardless, that's it, man. So Rob, what did we do? We told him we're on Twitter. That was pretty fast, right? Ain't nothing else really.
Yeah, you condensed that one, man. Good job, bro.
Yeah, man, that was a fast intro. Oh, I guess I'll throw it in here with a spare couple seconds. Doing a little bit of giveaway. Still have yet to see anyone participate. Apparently, no one likes free merchandise. And I know it's got to be killing Rob because he just wants me to give it to him. It's a little unfair.
I do. I love trading cards, y'all.
Just got some WWE trading cards. You do have the chance to get an autographed copy of the 40th anniversary Intercontinental Championship card that is not guaranteed to be in the pack, but there is a chance.
Speaking of cards, they put out the SummerSlam cards, and it's killing me not to buy some. For those that don't know, I play competitive Pokemon TCG, and oh man, I've kind of been out of the game for a little bit, but I got back in the game, and I'm building a deck. I'm going to play in a couple weeks, and I'm building an updated deck for rotation, and I needed about $90 worth of cards. Luckily, I have a friend that's going to trade me and hook me up.
Sweet.
But it's killing me not to buy wrestling cards, too, man. Come on. It's so hard.
So if you guys want to get some free wrestling cards, all you got to do, hop onto Twitter if you got one, and just give us the shout out. Tell people to watch at SmackDown Pod. Make sure you at the page so we see you participating. Once we have at least one person participating, everybody that participates that week, chances are it'll be just you. We'll pick randomly from that pool of people, and we'll go ahead and send out your free wrestling cards, man. Come on now. Come on. How simple
I also just want to throw it out there that winning a giveaway is amazing, guys. I joined Twitter years ago, and I didn't use it. And then I won a Pokemon card giveaway, and here I am. It led me to having 4 Twitter accounts, and just saying, winning a giveaway is amazing.
These giveaways,
I'm just throwing
man,
that out there.
will change
I won a card,
life.
and all of a sudden I was tweeting. Just saying.
Man. So if you're new to the channel, enough of the plugging, enough of that stuff. Here at the channel, we like to cover your recaps and reviews of your main WWE shows. That typically includes Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, and NXT. And then, of course, your main card pay-per-views and your NXT takeovers. Every now and then, we'll go ahead and cover another show if we've got time. But mainly we are centric to the WWE landscape of things until something changes, But we want to give you guys a sincere thank you if you're new listeners, an even bigger thank you if you're returning listeners, man. Really, man, you guys are helping out every time. Drop us some comments in the YouTube page or hit us up on Twitter. Anything you want to talk about wrestling-wise or anything that you would like to hear on the show personally, because we're doing it for you guys. But enough of that. Enough of the kiss ass stuff. Let's go ahead and let's talk about Raw. Although I think Rob, you said you had something you wanted to discuss.
I have a mini story to tell you. Did my
wants
microphone
to share with the class.
Oh, okay, hold on. Time out. My mic cover just fell, and this mic picks up air like
technical
crazy.
difficulties, folks.
Okay, already fixed. Okay, so we had so much wrestling this weekend, and I missed all but 10 minutes of the finale of Extreme Rules because an excellent finale. The fact that like Corbin and Lacey lost made me sad, but then Brock cashed, and it just I'm not sad anymore. I'm okay with that ending. Anyway, once a year I work for an Italian fruit market, and once a year there's an Italian festival in my area, and it's all weekend long. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and my company that I work for grills lamb chops and shrimp, and like we sell lamb chops and shrimp. I worked my normal hours till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I went to the festival and I worked till 11 o'clock at night. It's paying for my SmackDown tickets that I'm ordering tomorrow. But the reason I'm telling you that is I spent hours on a shrimp grill this weekend, and I mean hours. And the guy that I was on the grill with, like, some say grilling shrimp is easy.
Was your shrimp peeled already, or was it?
It's raw marinated shrimp, and we grill it. It takes like 5 minutes to grill it up. Okay. But like we sell it, so like I mean, Jesus Christ, like we're constantly behind having to tell people to wait and whatever. So that's the reason we have 2 people on one grill. We have shrimp and then we have lamb chops, and there's 4 of us, and we sit there and we smoke our eyes out. And we throw Corona on our grills. And we make fire, and we have a good time. And
yeah.
I drink, and I get paid for it. So I can't complain. It's buying my SmackDown tickets. But the reason I'm telling you this is when you spend an entire weekend on a grill with somebody, you bullshit. You talk about whatever you talk about. So the guy that I was on the grill with, he was the other receiver we have 3 stores. 2 of us have a receiver. I'm shipping and receiving at one. He's shipping and receiving in the other one.
Okay.
We've never really talked. We ended up on a grill together. So, at first it was, how are ya? Let's grill some shrimp, blah, blah, blah. And then as we got a couple beers in us, it was, what are you into? So my answer was Destiny, Pokemon, and wrestling. And he goes, oh, yeah?
Feet. No, I'm sorry.
No. Here we go. Here's the reason for the story. His answer was, oh, yeah? I was into wrestling until the Attitude Era ended. I'm like, wait, what? For real?
Yeah,
like
another classic drop-off. It's a classic drop-off story, man.
So that was it. We spent our whole fucking weekend just talking about the good old days of when Sting first started coming down from the rafters, and when Ric Flair got his hair spray painted by the NWO.
Sting made his presence known in WCW for over a year before he got into action. Do you know that? Like, he would be in the rafters or on top of the Titantron, just watching NWO run amok and not doing it. Talk about patience.
Right, like, and then when it finally happened, that popped.
Yeah,
oh my
man.
God. When he finally scaled down. But we're not here for that. We're not here for that. I talked mad Attitude Era with this guy. We talked about all the good stuff, the pre-Attitude Era stuff, and whatever, and blah, 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 blah. Now, you might have had to be there, guys, but this is leading to my story. It turned into, so who is your favorite of all time? My answer was, of course, you guys know Shawn Michaels, Heartbreak Kid. He's always going to be my favorite. You can bring somebody out that is better than him. I'm going to still defend him and say he's not. He's my favorite, blah, blah, blah. His answer was The Undertaker. I love The Undertaker, blah, blah, blah. And I said, bro, The Undertaker's wrestling tomorrow, because this was Saturday.
Right.
I said, he's wrestling tomorrow. He's in a tag match with Reigns and blah, 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 blah. So his question was, do you think he still has it? So those listening out there know the answer is really no, because of what had just happened with Goldberg.
Yeah.
So I told him, look, he had this match with Goldberg last month and blah, 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 blah. This brings me to the whole point of my story. He looks at me and he goes, Rob, I don't know you that well. I don't know how you take insults. I don't know how you take opinions. But Goldberg was always a trash wrestler. That's the story. That was the build-up. Oh my God, I was dying.
I was wondering where it was going, and it goes to Goldberg to trash wrestler. That's good, man. That's good. It's good.
I told you it was worth it. I told you.
Did you hear that Undertaker's tag match was actually really well received? Like Undertaker looked great.
From what I heard, he did a lot better than he did with Goldberg.
He did.
Which brings me back to what I just said 5 minutes ago. Goldberg's a trash wrestler.
Yeah,
Even oh my God, man!
You really
like
find out who you can. After that,
I mean,
you really just want to lay the blame on Goldberg for that.
For those that don't know, I don't like spoilers. If I know the outcome of a match, I don't really want to watch it.
Yeah.
I didn't go back and watch Extreme Rules. I knew the outcome. Kyle here was giving me the outcome,
Just the
whatever.
on Twitter.
But I did go back and watch, highlights of Undertaker, and he looked good. So Goldberg was making him look like trash. I mean,
yeah, well,
it was partly
happens,
maybe he wasn't in shape or whatever. But I'm not blaming it on Goldberg, man. But I was dying. And what's funny is the first thing I thought the moment he said that was, "Oh my God, I'm recording it. I gotta tell our listeners that he said that."
Goodness gracious. Hey, look, man, I don't know how you take like criticism and stuff, but dude, Goldberg was.
I mean, he was like cool about it. He's like, "I'm sorry, bro. It's like if I'm gonna offend you, I'm sorry, but."
Oh, that's good. Well, let's get into Raw, man. That's a good story. I like that. So Raw Raw opened with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman coming out, and we get Brock jamming out to his belt. And my wife turns to me. My wife's watching it with me. She made us some nachos. She's watching it, and she's like, "What is he doing?" And I was like, "Baby, the man's creating memes. That's all he's doing. He's just creating memes." But yeah, Brock was jamming out to his belt. Heyman gives us the whole "I told you so." Announces the night's battle royal for the #1 contender spot to get us excited for the main event of Raw, which was going to take place, I think it was 10-man. So we had pretty much everybody who was in the main card picture. You got Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Big E, Cesaro, Braun Strowman, Rey Mysterio, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Bobby Lashley, and Roman Reigns. I think what was cool here, when they announced Roman Reigns, he got the biggest cheers out of everybody. Like he did.
He did?
Yeah, man. I don't know if that was them, the studio piping something in, but the crowd popped noticeably louder for Mr. Roman Reigns. And I was telling somebody, I can't remember who it was, but I was telling somebody that like I have done a full 180 with Roman. I'm not gonna sit here and be on the whole the dude can do no wrong train, but I am genuinely excited for him when he's on the screen. I'm intrigued with what's next for him, and by this point, kind of sold as he is like the next locker room leader. He's the next main like head honcho on the show, whether he's got the belts or not, and. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean I want that dude to have the main title and be the main event every week in, week out. But, I mean, there's a reason why Undertaker, visibly in the ring, you could read his lips very well, tell Roman, this is your yard now. And he gave him a pat. Roman looked emotional. It was a clear passing of the torch. And nobody behind the scenes is going to convince Undertaker to do that. That has to be genuine from Taker. You know what I mean? So there is something there with Roman, and they're easing him, man. They're easing him in, and I like it, man.
And what I liked about this is, like I said, I didn't watch Extreme Rules, but like I did watch highlights, and one thing I caught out of this was Reigns beat Taker, and I'm gonna bring it up again. Taker retired, and it made me cry, and then they brought him back, and Vince, that's bullshit. It's bullshit. But that's beside the point. I'll leave that one alone. We all seen the pictures of Reigns in the locker room almost in tears because he didn't want to beat Taker.
Yeah,
and the first thing I got out of this was the moment these two had in the ring was Reigns had to have left the ring with that still in his mind. Like, I got goosebumps right now just thinking about it. That, okay, it's okay. I mean, I'm sure he laid it to rest ages ago, but I'm sure it was also still floating around. I beat the man at WrestleMania, and I didn't want to, and then nothing else ever came of it. Then you had this moment in the ring, 2, 3, 4, I don't remember what WrestleMania was. But years later, that definitely had to have crossed his mind some sort, at least in the locker room or some sort. And that gave me goosebumps. I really like that.
Yeah, if you're Reigns, that is an accolade that only two people carry in the history of wrestling in the WWE, and that is him and Brock Lesnar. Those two people are the only ones with the accolade to beat The Undertaker at a WrestleMania, man, and it's huge for them. It is. I mean, it's a polarizing topic. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to think it's a good thing, but it is an accolade. It's a badge. It's something that you got that's going to stand out, that you'll always have and no one can fucking take from you. As Brock and Heyman exit the ring, Ricochet makes his entrance, and we cut to commercial. We come back. It's announced we have a 6-man tag match. Ricochet and the Usos versus the Revival and Robert Roode. And, of course, it's a 2 out of 3 match. Gotta love the 2 out of 3 falls. They're still.
I didn't even know it was a 2 out of 3 until a pin happened like 10 seconds in, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Yeah. But then they kept going. I'm like,
match. Oh my god!
I'm like, a squash match and like all 6 guys are a thing. Like, what's going on? Yeah. And then nope, I was wrong.
Yeah, Ricochet in the first, in about like the first minute, Ricochet hits what looks like a single knee code breaker called the recoil for his first fall, and it's nice to see him have an offensive move that he can get a finish with outside of the 630. It's always nice when guys have versatile finishers. Rude.
I want to personally say no, I don't like that.
Not a fan?
Just saying. Nope, not a fan. One finisher. That's it. You hit that one finisher, and that's it. I don't want him to hit the 780 or whatever the hell it is and be like, well, is he going to pin him? Or does he have to hit a second finisher?
Does he have to hit
but I mean, I've said it on the show numerous times. I'm not a fan of fake finishers, like to begin with.
To false
I don't
finishes.
care.
They have to be.
I don't care how powerful you are. Like once in a while, yes.
Yeah.
Like WrestleMania 12. This is the second time I brought this
towards
up.
John Cena's last couple of years, every attitude adjustment he gave, you guarantee he'd had to hit 2 or 3. Towards the last couple of years of his career, like
get out of here with a 2 or 3. That's my finisher, man. Like I just said, WrestleMania 12, like Shawn Michaels hit the Sweet Chin music. And Bret Hart kicked out. That was amazing because you didn't get that. And then, boom, I'll never forget that pop I had as a young kid. And I was marking out for HBK. But Bret Hart kicked out of Shawn Michaels' finisher. And me being a Shawn Michaels fan, I said, holy shit, that's great. Keep going. Yes, yes, yes. But nowadays, the guys got 3 finishers. Like, you got the Bexploder, and then you got the armbar, whatever the hell she called it. I'm totally drawing a blank on what it's called.
Disarmor, yeah.
But, I mean, like... one or the other. I mean, like, come on.
I think,
that's
okay,
me.
so I think
mean,
it's necessary if you have a small person, like a smaller wrestler who's got a power finisher, that they need an alternate because you're not going to be able to lift everybody. You know what I mean? Not everybody's going to be built like Brock Lesnar, John Cena, or Goldberg and be able to deliver a move like that to somebody that's like much larger. So I think with some people it is necessary to have a backup like submission or a backup finisher that doesn't require like the power. You know what I mean?
That's valid. That's valid.
But no, I get what you're saying though. It's not. It doesn't discredit your point. Finishers should be finishers. Like I'm kind of pissed that Baron Corbin has both the Deep Six and the End of Days because both of those are badass moves. Like that Deep Six could easily be a finisher for somebody else.
Yes, but that End of Days, man, that End of Days.
The End of Days, no. Yeah. Baron Corbin does have probably 2 of the coolest moves in wrestling. I will give him that. But back to the 6-man tag.
He's also got the coolest shirts, haters.
Whatever. Roode and Revival score. The second falls shortly after the first. That allows us to get to commercial break. Match restarts.
If anybody noticed, they missed the what is their finisher called?
Shatter Machine.
Yes, there was supposed to be one there, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I actually missed a chunk of this match. I think I was making food for one of my kids. I want to say. I know I was doing something in the kitchen.
I was halfway paying attention. I swear I was gonna remember who called it out. But somebody called it out on Twitter that they missed it, and then I was like, you know what? They did actually.
Yeah.
Because like I was half paying attention for that pinfall, so I just want to throw it out there. They missed it.
Okay.
Suckers.
Ricochet ended up picking up the victory for his team. AJ Styles and the Good Brothers come out though afterwards. Ricochet tries to jump over the ropes to get the get the offense going. To attack Styles. While Ricochet's attacking Styles, the Usos deliver super kicks to the Good Brothers. Looks like they're going to fend them off. Ultimately, the numbers are too much. Revival do come in, deliver the Shatter Machine to one of the Usos, and then AJ gives one of the sickest, phenomenal forearms, and it's to Ricochet, which causes Ricochet to do like a backflip and a half when he ate that.
He sold it so well.
That is the best.
Sold it so well.
That is the best sell of a phenomenal forearm. Dude, Ricochet had done a backflip before AJ even hit the mat. Like it was so good. Yeah, dude. Those guys have got some awesome chemistry. And then ultimately, after the phenomenal forearm, Good Brothers come in, deliver the Magic Killer. It's nice to see the club is getting booked strong, especially being mishapped the first go around. Next up, we got the Viking Raiders destroy some jobbers. I didn't catch the names. I tried to catch the names of the local enhancement talent. I'm sorry I didn't catch it this time. Essentially, this was just... It was another monster squash match to show off their power.
It was your basic squash.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You're the Viking Raider. Are they doing this to make up for ruining their name? Why are they doing this?
I don't know. It's like you do this with guys that you know have to look threatening, but you have nothing for. So you're like, yeah, we're just gonna give you squash matches until we figure out something we want to do with you.
But they make them look worse. Like, you know me, I'm not one to complain about storyline. I'm happy. I'm easily amused. Give me Uzi hot, and I'm amused. But you got these guys fighting jobbers. They're the Viking Raiders. They're like 800 pounds combined, and they have shoulder pads on with spikes like to the rafters. They're badass.
They
you don't
are
need them
badass.
to squash anybody.
They are badass.
I just don't get it.
And the thing is like them, and then a lesser known tag team you might not be aware of completely is AOP. Those two tag teams are the biggest monster tag teams in all of WWE. They all the men are jacked. They're all athletic. They look like all four of the members of those two tag teams could be monsters in singles competition. So theoretically, knowing this, they should be destroying your modern tag team division. They should be threatening to get the belts at all times or holding those belts down and just defending them. And so putting AOP on main event, and from what I gather, I don't watch main event, but from what I gather, they're losing matches on there. And then and then having the Viking Raiders doing nothing outside of the jobber squash matches and not setting up something for the future for us to look forward to is quite frustrating, man, on my part. You know, I'm not a big fan of it. I agree with you, Rob. They need to do something. They need to do something with them. Those guys are extremely talented. They are definitely one of the hottest grabs WWE has ever gotten in the modern era, and they're just not doing anything with them, man. They're not. Excuse me. Oh, my God. Sorry, guys. I needed to get that one out.
Yeah, buddy.
We cut back to the locker room. Locker room's having fun, just like I am over here. Drew McIntyre comes in, shows off a little personality. Look at that.
Speaking of burps.
Yeah, man. Drew comes in, dude. He shows off some personality. He's more than an insult, I'm gonna kill you machine. He comes in appearing threatening towards Cedric Alexander. Then he's like, I'm just kidding. And then he's like, but I am going to humble you. Because I think he said he was going to kill him. I think he said he was going to murder Cedric. And then, he was like...
And then he's like, no, wait, that's illegal.
That's illegal. I'm just kidding with you, but I am going to humble you. And I was like, okay. I liked that.
I do have it in my notes. Who the hell is Cedric Alexander?
He's a huge 205 Live standout that they brought onto Raw, and they haven't done anything with him yet. So from 205 Live so far,
does he have any history? Like, is that all he is? He's just like a 205 guy.
He's an amazing cruiserweight, but doesn't have any major accolades. He was the runner-up or eliminated in the semifinals of the first Cruiserweight Classic tournament, and when he lost his match, the audience there was cheering like sign Cedric or something along those points, and I
remember reading about that.
Yeah,
yes,
and
Triple H acknowledged it.
Met him on the ramp and acknowledged like, you guys got nothing to worry about. This dude's staying.
Okay, I read that.
Yeah.
So he's like, he hasn't done anything. He's just a guy that should have done something, but they haven't.
Yeah,
pushed him
exactly.
Yet? Okay.
He's a former cruiserweight champion.
Word.
But yeah, him, Ali, and Buddy Murphy have all gotten called up from 205. It's just Ali's the only person that they've done anything with.
Word.
The match starts pretty much right after the segment. You cut away, you cut back. They're in the ring. Cedric does start off pretty strong. Drew starts to honestly just own the dude. Cedric counters at one point, hitting a drop kick as Drew comes off the top rope. As Drew recovers and goes for an inverted Alabama slam, Cedric rolls him up for the win. They gave Cedric a huge win. That is huge. That is huge, dude. He's probably going to result next Monday to Cedric just being, murdered. But for now, that is huge. Like, it's so big. Cedric get that win, especially over Drew, because Drew should only be a year away from being fucking champ, dude. Being the main event of WWE and taking over Brock's spot of holding that title hostage. I honestly believe Drew McIntyre should be that guy.
That's valid.
Yeah, man, he is got it all, man.
Wow, I just remembered we actually had a Memorial Day parade.
Yeah.
And we went to it, and my daughter's in like cheerleading, and like her whole squad or whatever marched in the parade. So we were there. That's beside the point. There was a Scottish group that was playing bagpipes.
Nice.
And like I pulled out my phone and I hit record on the video. I didn't record them, but I recorded the audio, and I was gonna tweet it and say, "Holy shit, Drew McIntyre's in the house," but I never did.
That would have been good. Oh my god. Finn's backstage gives an interview after his loss on Extreme Rules. Says pretty much he's hurt, but he's ready to tear through Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe comes out. Hell no, that ain't happening. That match is coming up next. Before it gets going, Samoa Joe gets a roll-up victory on Balor, surprisingly, because that's usually just a face way to win, you know. So to see a heel do it does kind of catch you off guard. Then Joe ends up attacking Balor after his victory. Balor is able to fend off Joe for the fight, and then Balor goes ahead and has his music play. But something happens when that music's playing, Rob. Something does happen, but I do want to say it out before that something happened that made everybody's stuff tingle in the WWE universe. I don't like that they do that. I don't like it. It's in my notes. I don't like it. Joe won. Don't play Balor's music. Don't do it. I don't care if Balor ends up beating Joe up. Don't play his music. I don't like it. That's just how it's done, man.
His music played. That is how it's done, but it's enough for me to make a minor complaint. I'll leave it alone. I'm not bitching about it. I don't like it. I don't want to hear Balor's music. He lost.
Oh, I hear you.
That's just me. But what did happen next? The lights went out. Did they not pay the light bill?
Balor's music's playing, and then it sounds like an error happens. Kind of like if you were like a record was playing, and then you push down on the record,
his
you
music
slow it down.
Stopped,
it's kind of just warps to a stop. Then lights kind of start cutting out, just jung,
one at a time.
Yeah, man. And then ultimately,
there's electricity happen and feelings are going on.
It was so good.
Oh my god!
All the lights go down. We hear some scuffling, like going on in the ring.
What's funny is I didn't even think Bray. I didn't think Bray at all. You know what my first thought was? Holy shit, they're jocking AEW when they did that thing when the mask guys came out.
No, yeah, lights.
Oh my god, get out of here.
We get like a strobe and then eventually a spotlight in the ring. It's Bray Wyatt in his Fiend getup.
God.
Delivers the Sister Abigail. The music's creepy. Oh man, everything is good. It's so
good.
It's so terrifying, man. It's so terrifying and so good. Yeah.
And then when it ended, the laugh that played over the speakers.
Yeah,
he did such a good job. It's so good.
Yes.
I'm so ready for Bray Wyatt.
So it looks like we're gonna get the Bray and Finn feud for SummerSlam, and if early word is to be believed, is Bray is going to essentially destroy Finn. And Finn's gonna disappear for a couple months. I guess he's requested some time off or something. So, but that's more the behind the scenes.
That makes sense.
It's behind the scenes stuff.
But whoever you have Bray face, you can't not have them whoop their ass.
Whoop them bad, man. Got it.
Like everybody was when I kept saying that it's gonna be Bray versus Alistair. He's like, no, nobody can whoop anybody's ass. I was like, I don't really care. But on this, you have to have Bray whoop that ass.
Oh,
it's like I didn't feel that way until this moment that we're talking about, and I said, "Holy shit, this dude's a badass!"
Speaking of going from badass to someone trying to get some ass, we cut to Drake Maverick in a hotel with his wife.
Oh man!
Oh, ready to consummate the marriage, Rob. He's been married for like a month and he hasn't consummated yet. God knows, dude. Oh no, dude! Oh my gosh, what's going on? I love it though, man. Drake's wife. They're in the hotel in the bed. Drake's wife says she's gonna go to the bathroom, slip on something more comfortable. I love it, man. Drake disrobes, and at first he appears nude with nothing on except the 24/7 title. And I love it. Someone online posted Shawn Michaels' picture from Playgirl where he posed nude with this world championship
with the belt around his waist.
Yeah. Next to Drake Maverick, and it's so ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
That's great.
They're settling, ready to get down, and all of a sudden some room service pops up, and I love the look, the straight face look on the room service face when the guy starts to take his uniform off and reveal that he's a ref, and then Truth appears from under the table, which would assume that Truth was in the room the whole time. Like, was he just gonna sit there and listen and wait for them to like pass out? Truth was in there the whole time, man. He cross bodies Drake Maverick onto the bed, gets the 3 count, takes off. Drake at that point is revealed to be in some like whitey tighties.
He took the belt and he's like, I hope y'all ain't still constipated.
Oh my God! The 24/7 title continues to be the most entertaining
thing. It's one of the most golden things in WWE. It's so good.
And you know those guys have got to be having a fucking blast, shooting. They don't have to wrestle. They ain't breaking their bodies, but they've got to be having the funnest time, just coming up with those ideas and shooting. Oh,
I do want to plug that I caught a like from Truth. Because Drake Maverick was like, he tweeted, I'm finally going to consummate my marriage tonight.
Yeah.
I commented, I'm like, no hard feelings, bro, but can Truth have his belt back first? Like, he's more entertaining, man. Sorry, bro.
Jeez Louise. Yeah.
Sorry, homie. I mean, it's not personal. Truth is so much better with the title. If he ever loses it for good, I'm going to be sad.
Yeah, and before y'all correct me in the comments section, yes, I know this was a 2-part segment and originally opened with Drake checking into the hotel as the 24/7 champ.
Oh, that's right.
But I just was too excited, man, to get to the payoff, all right? All right, the payoff was better, okay?
All right, I'll do a quick super plug summary. Maverick signs into the hotel as Mr. 24/7.
Yeah.
And then Truth pokes his head around the corner after he leaves the desk area, and Truth is like, Maverick paid the guy like $600 so nobody knew he was there, and Truth gives him $1, asking is there a hornswoggle in one of the rooms.
Mr. and Mrs. Hornswoggle checked in? Here. Oh, God. Truth. Who would have thought 2018 if you said, listen, next year, R-Truth and Drake Maverick are going to be involved in the best segments week in and week out on Raw and SmackDown. You would punch that guy in the face. You'd be like, shut up, stop wasting my time.
No, you crazy.
Yeah, man. Oh, it is true, though. It's true. After the match, we get more of the Street Profits, hyping up the bouts coming on later with hyping up like the women's fatal 4-way match. I can't remember which member. One of the members was crushing on Bliss. Then they hype up the Battle Royal, and they both make their picks for the winners, which results in Big E and Seth Rollins. Cutting from that, you're in Long Island when you have a Zack Ryder match, because apparently that's the only place he's allowed to be on television, is in Long Island. He has a match against Mike Kanellis. Backstage.
So real quick, Zack Ryder is the guy that was with Chad Gable, right? Is that who was with Gable?
No.
Who was with Gable?
Gable was originally he was with,
like recently, like before the shakeup.
No. Zack Ryder was the Raw Tag Champions that won at WrestleMania with Kurt Hawkins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Robert Roode was with Chad Gable.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay. Carry on. That was just like because my wife. I've said it a couple times on the show. My wife half-ass pays attention and bullshits with me once in a while. Right. One of her things was Chad Gable. So like anytime anything that involves Chad Gable, my brain triggers.
Okay.
Like, I thought Ryder was with Chad, but it was Robert Roode.
No, yeah,
right.
Robert Roode.
But it was kind of funny. We went to Meyer. I don't know if that's local or not. It's a store that sells WWE figures, and they had a Chad Gable figure, and I almost bought it for her, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna. I don't want to spend money on Chad Gable. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Jesus, Rob. The match is just continuing the dehumanization and the continuing clipping of the balls of Mike Kanellis. Backstage before the match can even begin, Mike tells Maria to stay back, be safe. I'm a good husband. You're pregnant. You shouldn't be around the ring. Maria says that no, you are such a pussy. I'm going to take the match, although I'm pregnant. I was just like, man, this is fucking dark, bro.
It's crazy, man.
The drama spills out. Maria forces her way out to the ring. Of course, Mike gets to the ring first. You're not going to have a legit pregnant woman do anything physical.
Oh, man, Twitter would explode.
Yeah, man. But, of course, Mike is then distracted from all this drama, receives a Rough Rider from Zack Ryder. And that's it, man. And it's so bad. You know you're like they are trying to just ruin your life when they announce the victory. They say, and your winner in less than 1 minute. Just Zack Ryder. Like, dude, Kevin Owens won in 10 seconds. They didn't even say that, okay?
I didn't even catch that. I didn't even catch it.
Yeah,
Wow.
Maria jumped on the mic and continued to belittle Mike. I'm going to have to, I guess, tune in 205 Live, see where this is heading, man. You got to do something, man. I'm starting to feel for my boy. And the thing is Mike Kanellis is supposed to be a heel. If you watch 205 Live, he's supposed to be the bad guy. Like, how could you... I don't know, man. I'm not necessarily hating on the product, but I legitimately feel for this dude. Like, this is some rough stuff to watch, man.
Wow, I didn't know he was supposed to be a bad guy. Oh man, I don't like it. I don't.
Yeah,
like
man, it's weird. It is
Somebody
some really
on Twitter
weird booking, man.
Somebody on Twitter asked why are they doing it, and one of the comments was, I always swear I'm gonna remember who these ats are. I'm gonna start writing them down. I don't remember. If it was you, let me know that it was you. I will properly shout you out. Anyway, one of the comments was, "This is Vince's way of saying, how dare you think about leaving."
Oh my god!
How bad could that be, man? Like, for real though.
They threaten to
come
leave.
on.
They signed the 5-year contract, and the first thing that happens after the 5-year contract signature is
you're
just getting
you get your nut
ripped.
clipped. Like,
yeah, man, it's a weird one. It is so weird. We'll have Benji. See what Benji would be really good for this, because Benji has such a good insight on these on these stories.
Like, this guy could like become WWE champion in a month, and I'd still be like, that's the guy that got his nuts clipped.
Yeah,
like,
no, true. If they're not careful, this is gonna follow Mike for a long time and be irreversible. Yeah, so I don't know, man.
I think that's what they're trying to do. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, on the surface, especially if you're only watching Raw. Like, I watch 205 Live, they do give him some more depth, but it doesn't stray too far away from what's going on Raw. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like there's a completely different story going on 205 Live, but they do go a little bit more in depth. But it's still the same result. He's losing and getting belittled by his wife and by Drake Maverick, the general manager. So it's a tough one, man. Mike's going through a tough one. Next up is we have the most controversial point of the whole evening. We have the women's fatal 4-way match. And personally, from me, a big fuck you to that crowd. Or if you're online ganging up with the crowd chanting, "This is awful." Those girls worked their butts off in there, man. And the match wasn't even like a terrible, like, stale match. They were working a good damn match. I was entertained. Like, I was seriously caught off guard when the crowd started turning on them and chanting, "This is awful," and chanting Sasha Banks, and they were even chanting for fucking John Cena at one point, man. It was really weird. It was so weird.
I don't understand it.
No,
I
man,
really don't.
I didn't. I was invested.
I fell asleep, guys. Like, I was out. Like, I mentioned earlier, I worked at Festival. Like, between Friday and Sunday, I got like 12 hours of sleep. I was out last night. I was out like a light.
So I'll walk you through.
So I watched it on background noise today. That's why I'm trying to, like, I watched it on background noise today on Hulu. Yeah. So I didn't get to really watch, but I did hear the crowd chants. And, like, when I heard the "This is awful" chant started, I looked at the ring. I'm like, what is awful? Like, there's nothing awful going on right now. The last "This is awful" chant we got was Shane McMahon on SmackDown. I forget who the hell he was fighting. For whatever reason, he was fighting them. And I remember it was awful. I'm a Shane fan. Don't get me wrong. It was awful. It deserved the chant. This doesn't. Why were you guys bashing these women? It was a good match. Like I said, it was background noise for me. I didn't get to sit and stare at the screen.
I can confirm, Rob. I watched it and took deep notes. It was a good match. It was a good match, man.
Why This is awful chants? Like, I mean,
Maybe the crowd just got tired.
They got bad storylines right now. There was a sign on Raw a while ago that said, "I feel like you're not even trying." They deserve criticism, they do, but in this moment, they did not deserve it, and it was uncalled for. It really was. I just don't get it.
Yo, like I said, I don't know, man. Maybe by this point in the night they were tired and they wanted something else. I don't know.
They obviously weren't tired if they got up the energy to get a loud chant going. Like
I don't know, man. It was fucking weird, dude. But anyways, well, I'll bring you through the play-by-play match, because literally the most extensive notes I took on this, like on the whole show, was for this match and then the main event. But essentially, you have the Fatal 4-Way match between Carmella, Naomi, Natalya, and Alexa Bliss. Becky Lynch is at ringside, just watching on because this is for the number one contender for Becky Lynch's Raw title at SummerSlam. Natalya starts off with Naomi. Carmella tries to clean up after they wear on each other. Doesn't work. After a few super kicks from Carmella, she gets rolled up by Alexa Bliss. Carmella's the first one out the ring. Naomi nails a nice blockbuster on Natalya on the outside of the fucking ring, dude. And then Alexa Bliss throws Naomi in the ring. Nikki makes her presence known on the outside, cheering on Bliss, because Nikki Cross was out there trying to do her thing. Naomi... No. I had that backwards. Naomi had done that blockbuster afterwards. But don't even worry about it. Pretty much, I'm trying to see here, like, who got the second fall, man? Who got the second fall in this? Bliss was trying to make herself a constant threat throughout the match, trying to pin anybody whenever somebody was down. She essentially was just trying to clean up the scraps at all times, and you were really led to believe that Bliss was going to clean this one up, you know, as Bliss is starting to get the upper hand. This is when the crowd starts turning on the match, and I guess you can make the argument that Bliss was working some rest holds, but that's a heel style of wrestling. You know, everybody does. Like, all heels put people in headlocks for a while. You know what I mean? You're not out chanting, "This is awful" on everybody. There was just something weird in the air that night. Naomi goes for her sunset flip on Natalya, but gets reversed into the pin, and Natalya gets the 3 count on Naomi. So this leaves Natalya and Alexa Bliss. Let me see here. Yeah, Nikki gets on the mic, which was funny because I thought this was off the cusp because the crowd is being like vicious. So Nikki got on the mic and starts telling the crowd to cheer for Alexa, and the crowd
got booed.
Yeah, well, she's supposed to be a heel. I think it's confirmed by now. Nikki's a heel.
Yeah, but she's.
For the moment, she's a heel. Whatever reason. Yeah, it's so weird.
I don't know, man.
It's so
Maybe
weird.
I'm biased. You don't boo Nikki.
The crowd replies at Nikki saying she sucks. Like, you suck.
I think that's what got me. Like, they went overboard. Like, we already said it.
The crowd was vicious.
The crowd was vicious in this match. Like, I don't get it. Like, I really. I'm a Baron Corbin fan, and I hear him boo Baron Corbin, and I'm like, oh, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're booing when everybody calls the waiter. I'll stop right now because we've said it. I don't understand it. I don't understand the crowd in this match.
Well, during the whole
what makes
chaos,
what makes it worse to me is, like I said a minute ago, this was background noise to me. Like, I was taking care of my children and doing daddy things while it was on in the background, so I was listening, not watching. So when you're watching the match, you don't pay too much attention to the crowd. But what I heard was the crowd. I think that's what bugged me.
Yeah.
Just saying. Carry on.
During all the chaos, Natalya accidentally hits Nikki Cross with her discus clothesline, but ultimately gets a hold of Bliss and gets her in the sharpshooter. She gets the tap out. That's right. Natalya is on her way to Canada to face Becky Lynch at SummerSlam for the Raw Women's title. I'm hyped for it, man. I'm hyped for it. I really am. Like, I know Natalya goes over like a wet fart with a lot of people.
I don't care for her.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining. I'm down for the match, but I'm not. I don't know.
I think I'm hopeful that they're gonna book it. Like, I'm hopeful they're gonna build it right. Because you can already tell that they tried. Lynch hops on the mic, says, "Congrats I'm hurt, but you know what? Screw it. There's no way you're going to get a hold of this belt. Step up because your career needs something, and I'm it. Essentially, she's not only is she saying, you know, like, hey, we're going to fight, but you need me to elevate you, you know, and so you're lucky that you're in a match with me. Kind of like if you guys watch MMA, kind of like what Conor McGregor would always post. Like, it wasn't even like the win was going to make you a winner. Just the fact that you got to fight Conor McGregor made you a winner. And I think that's kind of what she was getting across here. And
speaking of SummerSlam, real quick, I want to plug it that nowadays it doesn't really make a difference because of what's going on with WWE. But I mentioned earlier I'm going to SmackDown August 6th at the Go Home show for SummerSlam. That made me a little hype. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe it'll be
get the Go Home show.
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
it's
the Go
cool.
Home show
like,
is supposed to be
even
good.
if it's right, not that it necessarily will be because nowadays they're kind of mad, but still, I get the Go Home show. Even if it's bad, I get the Go Home show. I'm okay with that. Let's roll. They're gonna say this Sunday at SummerSlam. That's cool. I'm down with that. Let's roll. Okay, carry on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think so. This is where it gets a little confusing. I jotted it down here, but Becky Lynch did say something along the lines like, "I do better in love than something else." Can't really remember, but Natty replied with, "Well, you must not be a good lover then, bitch." And I thought that was she dropped the mic on her.
Yes.
Yeah,
oh,
man.
Attitude era. Let's do this. Let's roll. Let's do this. That reminded me of I don't know if anybody will remember this. Years ago, on when it was Raw is War. Like, this is one of the memories that stick out to me. I don't know why. I forget who Sable was feuding with at the time, but it was late. I was half asleep, but I was still awake for Raw. And Sable got in the ring, and she got on the mic and screamed at the top of her lungs, "Get out here, bitch!" If anybody wants to comment, if they remember that, that's all I remember. I don't know who she was talking to. I remember the feud, but I remember her on my television saying, "Get out here, bitch!"
Oh,
if anybody can plug who she was talking to,
goodness,
I'm not going to Google
man. It. Oh my goodness.
That's what that made me think of. Let's do the Attitude Era again. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Up next, we have Miz TV with Dolph Ziggler as the guest. Miz questions Dolph, like, dude, why do you want to be on the show? Ziggler instantly takes the opportunity to start in on Miz, essentially calling him like a yes man, a sellout. Was it worth not being on pay-per-view? And then Miz says, you know, it's better than losing to Kevin Owens in 17 seconds. And it was rough. I mean, it was just kind of setting these guys up. I think that's all it really was worth. It's oh gosh, it was a tough one. I have a hard time with Ziggler on there, you know, and it's just hard to get excited whenever Ziggler. He just sucks the wind out of whatever segment he's in for me. He's not as bad as Shane, it is just like Ziggler. I could do with. I forget who I was talking to. It may have been Benji, but it's like, I think Ziggler would be good as a coach. Like, he can stay involved in WWE. He can go down to the Performance Center. You know what I mean? I think just getting him off screen for a while. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm kind of over it. He
can wrestle, but he can't character.
Well, no, he can. It's just they've booked this dude in the same character and story. So one of the praises that Chris Jericho often gets is he has a long career and he's constantly trying to recreate his character year in, year out. He's trying to tweak his character to stay relevant, to stay fresh. Ziggler now feels like the same Ziggler that was around in I don't remember how far back he goes, but let's just say 2011. It's the same Dolph Ziggler. There's nothing new added to this dude's character in the majority of 10 years. And if you guys can think of something, please go ahead and counter-argue. But I think that's what it is for me, is because you can take any year in the last, let's say, 8 years of WWE programming, watch Dolph Ziggler, and you're getting the same exact Ziggler.
Oh, I'm glad you bring that up, because I caught a little bit of heat on Twitter today. Off subject, I'll make it fast.
Okay.
Somebody tweeted, name one wrestler that was always popular that you didn't care for. However it was worded. One over wrestler that you didn't like. My answer was Ric Flair. I think I've said that on the show before. And I caught a little bit of heat. And what's funny is what you just said is exactly why. Ric Flair is... I tweeted to one of my buddies. Ric Flair was like Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant good. Back when that was a big deal. Oh my God, a body slam happened. And then a leg drop. Ooh, a leg drop. Yay, leg drop. Flair never evolved. Macho Man, he was part of that era. But then you know what Macho Man did? He got some sweeter sunglasses and put on a silk Fabergé shirt and changed his character. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just enough to keep up with time.
Here and there. Yeah,
just a little bit. Hollywood Hogan. He was Hulk Hogan, black and yellow, face, and then he flipped. He became one of the biggest flips in wrestling history.
Yeah.
And he changed it up a little bit. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, Razor Ramon and Diesel, same thing. And all of a sudden they became the outsiders. And then they were different. They kept up. Ric Flair never evolved. He was always the same thing. And I just wanted to throw it out there. Anybody that's seen that tweet, that's why. Boy. I think I just pinpointed why I didn't care for Ric Flair. He was the same thing.
Yeah, you really could. There was many years. Yeah, any Ric Flair the same.
But what can you do with Ric Flair? In his defense, like I respect everything he did.
That man,
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve anything.
He was a legitimate, coked out lunatic, and that was pretty much the appeal of him.
And then it worked in the 80s, the limo riding, kissing women, helicopter riding. Woo!
Oh, you
It was
so
cool back then. But it never I didn't mean that as disrespect. I really didn't.
No, I'm only joshing you, Rob. No, you have a very valid point on why someone, because even myself, I wasn't a Ric Flair fan while he was going on. It's kind of like artists and like a lot of art and artists. They become famous after they retire or after they're done. You know, then their work gets appreciated. It was the same thing with me and Flair.
Right.
I love Flair because now I have context. Like I have, let me see here. Let me try to put it. Like I have about, I don't know, let's say 20 something years of wrestling experience. You know what I mean? And at the time when and Ric Flair was one of the first people I was introduced to in the WCW days. And at the time I'm like, I don't really like this guy. He doesn't appeal to me. He seems like one of my dad's drunk friends, you know? And
that's valid, man. That's
valid. In the last like 20 years of watching wrestling, Ric Flair's character work stands out to this day like a beacon amongst a lot of other characters. So I mean, you got to think, who were some of the best people on the mic? Because that's arguably Ric Flair's highlight is his mic work.
But then after that, I'm like,
you know what I mean? But like at the time, I'm like, he's got the appeal of a drunk friend. But then now that I've watched wrestling for so long, I'm like, shit, he stands out with Rock, like with Stone Cold, you know, like even John Cena, like the dude. Whether he's your cup of tea or not, he commands your respect or your attention while he's on that microphone. And then not to mention, like I told you, if you guys have not watched it, watch the 30 for 30 with Ric Flair. This dude is the only wrestler I know of that was his gimmick in the ring and his gimmick in real life. At one part he quotes that because Ric Flair... For one, he says he slept with like 15,000 women, which is crazy. Because when they did the math over like a time period, you're like, dude, you were sleeping with like 2 to 3 women a day, every single day for like 15 years. You know, like, but
he is. I mean, I don't like his wrestling in the ring, but I mean, he's a sly dog. Just
dude,
that's not...
but I love it because they asked him. They like, you know, obviously you've had just as many marriages as you've had title reigns. You know, did you ever try to settle down? And I love, because Ric Flair with a straight face, not even trying to be funny. He's like, yeah, I tried to settle down and do the married man thing. I tried it for about 24 hours, and it drove me insane. He's like, I hated it. I was like, but he was so legit. Like, that's for anybody else on planet Earth, that is a joke. That is a joke you tell. Ric Flair was fucking serious when he said it. Like... And it's so funny because he is like what every guy, like essentially like every guy's dream of being a dog. Not every man wants to actually be a dog, but they're like, you know, if I could be a dog for a day, that would be cool. Like Ric Flair was that dog for his fucking life, bro. Oh, jeez, it's so entertaining, man. It's dude, that 30 for 30. And it's so even funner is if you guys are married and you watch it with your wife, you'll laugh your ass off and she'll give you like a snarky look the whole time because men will find it funny or women won't. Like, Oh, but I'm done going off on my tirade here, man. You got me talking about Ric Flair, man. You get me talking about Ric Flair.
Right.
I can't help it.
I was actually just gonna say, like, I don't disrespect the guy at all.
Yeah.
He gets the respect.
The man is the
He
shit.
deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He's a legend. In ring, he bored me, but he did just knock us off track for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, man.
And
He's
and we
a
can
legend.
keep going.
He's a legend,
So
dude.
just saying.
Can
just
make a whole
saying.
episode talking about Ric Flair, man.
I think my whole point was those, like, I got a little bit of heat for it. Those who gave me heat, I didn't mean no disrespect. I don't know, man. It just.
Yeah.
So what happened next on Raw?
Pretty much, it was just the main event, the Battle Royal. The Battle Royal, between the 10 contenders for the number one spot against Lesnar at SummerSlam. Randy Orton was the person getting heavily cheered here. Let me see if I can go through my notes. I don't really think I have too much in detail other than I believe I've got the order of eliminations. So Cesaro was the first one eliminated, followed by Bobby Lashley. Big E hits the big ending on Braun Strowman, but then gets RKO'd from Randy Orton, and then ultimately eliminated by Sami Zayn, who then gets eliminated by Randy Orton. Rey Mysterio gets eliminated by Baron Corbin. Corbin at that point is eliminated by Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Reigns ends up spearing Seth Rollins by mistake, going for probably Randy Orton, I believe. Rollins helps throw both Reigns and Strowman out. Orton then tries to throw Rollins out, gets DDT'd. Seth gets the stomp. Seth wins. He's the one going to SummerSlam. Randy Orton was getting the biggest cheers. Randy Orton was clearly the crowd pick during the match, who they wanted to win. And I kind of agree because he's got that history. I don't know if you ever saw it, Rob, but Randy Orton had a match against Brock Lesnar, I think, 2017, I want to say, where early in the match, Brock took control and then legitimately busted Randy open with a legit elbow. He sat on top of him like in the mount position, grabbed Randy Orton's head, snagged him with 2 or 3 elbows clean to the crown of his head, busted him wide open. I to this day, I haven't seen a wrestler busted open worse. And it was bad. It was controversial, man. It was dark because Randy, he had to get something like 17, like 20 stitches and staples. Like, he was messed up and concussed. Like, it looked like just like legit. Like, Brock Lesnar just in the middle of the match just decided, you know what, screw all the wrestling crap. I'm just going to beat you for real. Is really how it came across. And so, with that being said, he's got that history, and I think that's what people wanted Randy to win. Because Randy Orton never got his comeback match, never got his rematch, nothing. That was just it. Just got freaking destroyed by Lesnar and then tossed on the shelf, But that was it, man. That was the end of Raw. Heyman came out to announce the winner. By this point, I was like, dude, I'm over it, man. I'm over the Lesnar shit. I'm not going to sit here and hate on it. I went over. I think I talked to Benji about it, man. I'm cool with Lesnar being champ as long as it's not one of those freaking 8-month to year-long holding the title hostage, never seeing it on TV reigns. I would like to see him lose no later than some Survivor Series. You know what I mean?
He quit MMA, so I mean, he's probably going to be around more.
It's
I don't know.
like
I very well could be wrong.
No, I mean,
but I'm on the other side. I don't want to see Lesnar Rollins anymore. Like, I don't want to see Rollins anymore. I really don't.
I want to see Rollins, but not the way they book. Rollins, the whole time he had that belt, it was just he only had one story, and that was Baron Corbin. The whole time he had that belt, it was just one story with Baron Corbin. That was it. It was. That's why Rollins is amazing, given the right material. The dude it can turn anything into gold. But I'm sorry, man. You put someone.
Yeah, I just don't.
Like
I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I mean, Rollins and Lynch, like, I'm against both of them. I really am. Like, when Mania happened, I was all about them winning. And again, I've said it a couple times on the show. I am fickle. I will admit that. But I'm still, I mean, I'm past the point of settling back in. But again, I've only been around since January. It took me a minute to realize who I like. I like the heels. But I meant to say it earlier, but I didn't bring it up when you were talking about Lynch at ringside for the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
Just the look on her face, like, I didn't want to see it anymore. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm over it. Like,
I think it's the classic story of when the underdog becomes the franchise. You can't be an underdog forever. You know what I mean? They make awesome underdogs. They make great stories. But once you become a franchise, there's gonna be that stigma. Some people do not like franchises, no matter what.
I think that might be what it is.
The New England Patriots. New England Patriots at one point were the plucky underdogs who were never gonna win a Super Bowl. Fast forward now,
man, you bring up the Patriots. I hate us because I ain't us. I'm gonna throw that out there right now.
But
I hate the Patriots because I'm not them. Just
yeah. But yeah. But now the Patriots are like a shoo-in to the AFC Championship every year, and everyone's sick of it. And when you ask people nowadays, I'm transitioning to football, but nowadays it's not so much people hate on the Patriots because they're like, oh, they're cheaters. They literally just saying like, I'm sick of seeing them in the Super Bowl.
I'm sick of seeing them.
I'm just sick.
But I can't really say anything because I'm a Red Wings fan, and we were the Yankees of the NHL for years. So I can't really say anything.
Yeah, man.
But
so
yes, that's valid. But I think you just pinpointed it. Those who listen to us, those who know me, know that I got back in January. The moment that I said, okay, I'm sticking with it this time, because those that don't know, I watched Royal Rumble to Mania for the past, 7 years, and I got back out of it. This time I stayed. Here I am. Woo, yeah, here I am. The moment that Becky Lynch won that Royal Rumble, that's when I'm like, oh my God, this Lynch girl is amazing. She's limping at her. She just hurt her knee. And then the whole thing with Stephanie, oh, you're banned from the arena unless you apologize. And blah, blah, blah. I was all about it. And then she won it, and I was all about it. My first wrestling shirt I bought was the man shirt. But now I don't want to see her no more. Her and Rollins. Like, is it the relationship thing? Or is it because she was better as going for the title? I don't know. I don't get it. But that's part of the reason I become such a Lacey Evans fan. Because Lacey was the one
Becky
she was facing.
Arguably at her hottest when she was chasing Ronda Rousey. Especially because last year she was set to have, I want to say, SummerSlam match, maybe Survivor Series match against Ronda Rousey, and then that's when Nia Jax clipped her with a real punch to the face and busted her open, and now we got all those.
Which I recently learned that was real. I didn't know that was real.
Yeah, I mean it was by mistake, obviously.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know it was a real.
Legitimately busted open.
I didn't know
and
she got legit busted bones. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, and then when she got taken out the match, because before that it was supposed to be Charlotte and Rousey at WrestleMania. That's what all the dirt sheets and everyone in Red reporting. They were trying to set that match up a year in advance. But what they didn't count on was 6 months into that build, Becky Lynch just became, I mean, it's no pun intended, but became straight fire. Like straight fire, man. And when SmackDown closed, I think it was SmackDown, it may have been Raw, but closed with that shot of Becky in the crowd, arms out, like, come at me, face all bloodied up and everything.
I know she was wearing a SmackDown shirt.
It was the most bad. So I think it was Survivor Series, and I think they were attacking Raw. But that was like one of the most real and badass moments in WWE in years. And Becky Lynch, that's what made her the overnight. That's what put her over. Oh, I mean, she was already over, but that was like times 10. And then, like I said, the crowd stayed behind her because it's quite a damn journey to get from Survivor Series to WrestleMania. So during that time is when she was arguably at her hottest and chasing Rousey. Then she beats Rousey, and then it's like, fuck, well, we don't have the underdog angle anymore. You know what I mean? So and she's arguably cool. I'm still cool with Lynch. Is she as hot right now as she was standing in the arena with blood trickling down her face? Like, no, she ain't that hot right now. But I'm still into it. I can't think of another female right now that honestly I prefer over her, other than maybe Ember Moon. I think Ember Moon really does it for me. She just doesn't have the TV time that, you know, she needs, which maybe that'll change on SmackDown. Who knows? We'll see.
Who knows? It
Who
could
knows?
be, man.
But anyways,
maybe a title shot opportunity.
yeah.
Maybe.
Anyways, Rob, we don't have that many questions, so we'll save them for our SmackDown episode.
I do have one.
You do have
I
one?
did get us one.
Okay,
Yes.
go ahead. Shoot.
I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. We got Renee at Sky's Song.
Hey, Renee.
Two-sided question.
Okay.
I'm curious, what changes do you hope that Bischoff and Heyman make when they're on full time in their new roles? What are you not looking forward to?
So, I'll tell you right now.
What do you hope Bischoff and Heyman do?
Oh man, it's probably the most common answer, so it's not going to sound too original. No more damn wild card, and no more damn 2 out of 3 falls. They've cooled on the 2 out of 3 falls, but I mean ultimately, no, I'm done with those. I'm done with those two things. Rob, I'll go ahead. I mean that's me. I'm gonna take the easy answer.
It's a pretty much basic answer. I got kind of the same thing. What do I hope they do? Take away champions getting pinned. I don't complain about a lot, guys. I really don't. I'm happy with what you give me. Again, I'll say it, I'm happy with the Uzi Hot segment. I thought it was funny. Give me whatever you want.
Give me what I want.
I'm going to be happy with it. I don't care. But you got your champions getting pinned. Like, I mean, I was about to plug a SmackDown spoiler, but I'll save it. A champion got pinned. But if it was a title match, that champion would not have gotten pinned. Stop pinning your champions. Give your champion some balls. Give them some respect. I'll leave it at that. That's what I'm looking forward to. I hope they stop pinning champions. Stop it.
So
what am I not looking forward to?
Go ahead.
Vince still being Vince and keeping the 2 out of 3 falls. Look at that. Samesies, bro. High five.
Samesies. I'll say what I don't want to see is not that they will be, but I don't want them to become on-screen characters more than who they are. Like, so Bischoff should be a non-entity. I don't think Bischoff should be at all on the show other than he's the guy running the shit behind the scenes. I don't want to see an on-screen Bischoff. Keep all his work backstage where it belongs. Heyman, I don't want to see Heyman the same way. I don't want to see Heyman. Although, actually, I could see Heyman. So, really, I don't want to see Bischoff on screen. I wouldn't mind seeing Heyman get away from Brock and be the hero general manager of the show. Because Heyman can hype a damn crowd. That's the difference between Heyman and Bischoff. Bischoff, all he's going to do is get cheap booze. Bischoff can't play a face. Bischoff can only be heel. Heyman can go out there and get a crowd hype, you know. So I wouldn't mind Heyman being on screen, announcing himself as the new general manager. Maybe saying he's the manager of Raw and SmackDown. I don't know if that would overdo it, but keep Bischoff off screen, and then if you want to put Heyman on screen more, I guess I wouldn't mind that.
I actually had it in my notes earlier, but I just kind of left it alone. When he was doing his thing earlier on Raw, talking about the champion or the battle royal or whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I forget exactly how he plugged it because my note's not very detailed. I just said that I liked this moment.
Yeah.
He mentioned how he was in charge. He's like, I guess things are changing because I'm in charge now, or however the hell he said it.
Oh, I didn't even
but
pick up on that.
He did plug it out there that I'm the guy in charge now. I'm the guy doing this. I don't remember exactly how. I'm going to go back now and look because I'm curious. But he did throw it out there. I'm in charge. And that's why this is happening.
Sweet deal. You said it was Renee, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Renee, for your question.
Song.
Thank you for your involvement. That was so sweet of you. You guys, that's our show.
Good question, too.
That's our show, you guys. Man, quick plugs. Once again, I'm Kyle at TheKyTyShow. You can follow our channel at SmackDrawPod. Participate in our giveaway. Get on Twitter, man, and just tell people. Say, watch at SmackDrawPod. Chances are, if you're the first person to do this, you're just going to get some free wrestling cards. Come on, man. Rob, I'll go ahead. I'll let you plug yourself and then sign us off, man.
I can't. Oh, my God. I mentioned on a few shows ago that I'll make this fast. 2 Words Can't See Me on Twitter, and then we will end it with this. I promise, guys. I mentioned that a coworker of mine had a security spot in the early 90s that he had to go in the ring and stop a planned battle royal or whatever. At 11 o'clock, I got a text message from him linking me to next week's Raw on the reunion, saying this looks pretty sweet. Man, that's amazing. It's cool. The guy don't know nothing about no wrestling, and he's like, "Hey, look, this looks cool." I just want to post it out there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like, it's such an unexpected text message. That's great. But yes, 2 words. Can't see me on Twitter. I don't argue with people. I don't fight with people. Let's put it out there. Let's follow and have fun.
Nice.
That's it. That's my plug.